What's up, everybody? It's the Benchwarmers, and we're back for another daily video. It's our third video in our power ranking series. So, as you can do the math, this is our number 30th ranked team in the NFL. Before we reveal to you what this number 30 team, please like and subscribe below. It would help us a lot. We're on the road to 100 subscribers, and that would be so great if you could help us reach there. With that said, at number 30, we will have the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the Jacksonville Jaguars last season had a 1-15 record. They actually won their first game of the season versus the Colts before dropping every game afterwards. However, it isn't as bad as you think it is because their starting quarterback Gardner Minshew was out for most of the season, and they saw a lot of promise from like undrafted rookie running back and who had I think over 1,000 yards, and also 5 of their games of their first 9 losses were within 4 to 5 points, I think. So that's kind of a good sign for the future, considering that they were in a lot of the games and they actually blew several leads early on before finally deciding to call it quits on the season and ultimately tanking the way out. But I think overall, they fire their coach. They have a new quarterback, a new running back / receiver, and they have a new coach from college. So it's a lot of new things in their system, and is a lot of potential moving forward.
And yeah, on that same note, I think their draft was pretty solid. So they had the first overall pick because the Jets sort of clowned and accidentally won a few games. So they drafted Trevor Lawrence, which I think was an exceptional pick because he's a generational talent. And I really think he'll work well to revive this Jaguars team over the next few years. And at 25th, they drafted Travis Etienne, a running back from Clemson, the same school as Trevor Lawrence. But I was a little bit confused by this pick because they already have James Robinson, who had a breakout year. But I guess Etienne adds some explosiveness and speed, so it's not a horrible pick. And at 33rd in the second round, they drafted Tyson Campbell, a corner from Georgia. And in the second round as well, at the 45th overall pick, they drafted Walker Little, offensive tackle from Stanford. And they had a few more picks in the draft, but they weren't really noteworthy or exceptional. So I would give this draft a B plus. It wasn't outstanding, but they did get what they came for, which is Trevor Lawrence and some decent supporting pieces.
Yeah, the Jags also had a decent offseason, although not a super eventful one. They didn't actually make any blockbuster trades or anything. They had a few signings. So they tagged their offensive tackle Cam Robinson, as well as adding Marvin Jones, Shaquille Griffin, Rashawn Jenkins, and Roy Robertson Harris. And they actually completely overhauled their wide receiver core, losing 3 in free agency, being Keelan Cole, Dede Westbrook, and Chris Conley. This is definitely a pretty interesting decision. They signed a few veterans, which I think is interesting considering their young talent that they kind of have. But maybe those veterans could end up mentoring some of their younger players, and they could have a good future ahead of them because of it.
So now we talk about why they were at number 30. There's a few reasons why they're at number 30. Obviously, they were the worst team in the NFL last year, and their defense really hasn't demonstrably improved. Unless somehow there's some extreme improvement from some of their defensive players, it's not going to be great once again. They're going to, again, be probably a top 5 worst defense in the NFL. But one thing which makes them a bit better than some of the other teams is they have a decent offensive core moving forward. They have Trevor Lawrence, who is widely considered one of the best prospects in the NFL draft since a player like Andrew Luck. So that's definitely a really good upside. They have a lot of high upside players, including veterans at the wide receiver position. And in fact, I had them ranked 1 spot higher at number 29 because I just like that offense so much. I like the players such as Trevor Lawrence. I like Travis Etienne. I like the wide receiver core. I like DJ Chark. I like Laviska Shenault. I like Marvin Jones. I like even Philip Dorsett. I think that wide receiver core is really solid. I think Trevor Lawrence showed in his few years in college that he is a really dominant quarterback. He has amazing accuracy. He can throw the long ball. He can even scramble a little bit when he needs to. And the best thing, he is clutch, which is probably the most important thing in the NFL. So I think ultimately, I think that's just being a good offensive team will mean that they will have probably a similar season to the Texans last year, in that they will be they'll be maybe a decent to really good offense and a bad defense, and they'll probably end up going like 4-13 or 5-12.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think their offense is really good, but the reason why I had them ranked below a team like the Jets is because I think the Jets did well to address both their offensive and defensive needs, whereas I feel like the Jaguars mostly focus on their offense in this offseason. So I think that they're not really well rounded, and I think that defense is definitely going to bite them in the back.
Yeah, I agree with Rohan here. I had the Jags ranked slightly lower than the Jets. I do really like the direction that the Jaguars are heading in. They have a great core of young players, and I think in the future there will be a respectable playoff team. But there haven't really been any rookie quarterbacks who have immediately turned a franchise around recently. I think the most recent example was Andrew Luck, as previously mentioned. But I think although Trevor Lawrence will make some improvements with this team, won't be enough to make them like a 6-win team just yet. So that wraps it up for this third episode of the NFL Power Rankings. Let us know whether you agree with us or not. If you liked it, remember to like. If you didn't, let us know why in the comments below. This is the Benchwarmers signing out. See ya.